Ledford. I'm the interpretive ranger at Andrew Jackson State Park, the boyhood home of our 7th president, Andrew Jackson.
Everyone has things that they like to do for fun. Many people today like to go to the movies, or watch TV, or surf the internet. When you think about toys and games, what are some of your favorites? Common answers I get are Barbie dolls, Legos, video games, and soccer. But if we could travel back in time to ask children who lived in South Carolina before the United States was even a country, we would probably get very different answers from those children. Let's discover some of the toys and games that children in the past were familiar with. Some games that were played during colonial times are still played today, including Duck Duck Goose and Tug of War. Jumping rope was just as much fun 250 years ago as it is today. Some of today's most popular games, like basketball, were not invented yet. Other modern sports have roots from colonial games. Baseball is similar to a game known as rounders. Nine pins was the predecessor to today's version of bowling. It was popular in both lawn versions and a tabletop version. The marbles that they played with might not be as fancy as the ones that you or your parents may have played with. Cup and ball and bilbo catchers were popular. Ring toss was a fun and easy game to assemble. In the past, you might have called this game quoits. Games using dice were common. Shut the Box was one of those. So were Farkle and Going to Boston. These games could have been used to practice math skills. Hand-carved spinning tops are a lot of fun to watch as they twirl.
Ring and stick is a game that's popular in a great number of cultures, and you can make it from a variety of materials.
Whirligigs, buzzers, and buzzsaws were made of a string or leather thong and a round object with two holes. This one is made of a replica of a coin from colonial times, but wooden buttons, carved wooden rounds, and even flattened musket balls were used to make these toys. The Jacob's ladder can do tricks, but it could also be used to form shapes and letters as a teaching tool. As cultures mixed in the Great American Melting Pot, friends taught each other games. Mancala was brought from Africa. Toy tea sets were imported from Europe. Pickup sticks originated in China and spread over the centuries to the Middle East and on to Europe before coming to the United States. Native Americans shared games like lacrosse and toys like corn husk dolls. The biggest difference between today's toys and yesteryear's toys are the materials that are used to make them. Instead of plastic, rubber, synthetic materials, and electronic components, in the past toys were made from ceramics, wood, leather, textiles, natural materials, and limited amounts of metal. In our modern world, most toys are purchased from stores or online sources. Before the Industrial Revolution, it was very uncommon for parents to purchase toys for their children. Only the very wealthy could afford such luxuries. Before the 1900s, most toys and games were made at home by parents or the children themselves. If you would like to try your hand at some of the toys and games of our ancestors, visit a living history program at a South Carolina state park. If you are an educator and would like your elementary school students to visit Andrew Jackson State Park for a field study about colonial toys and games, please visit the Discover Carolina website.